how does this look as a place to wake up to? To me, it mostly looks like a place that we could normally never afford unless it was a nature's place or if we had something to celebrate, because we have different budgets for those. But it's not a nature's place, and I don't think that we have anything to celebrate other than the fact that we can totally afford staying in this place. And that is because we are in one of the cheapest countries in the world.
We are Nick and Linz. For the last 5 years, we have been traveling to some of the most amazing nature's places on the planet. And now we embarked on an epic journey to experience naturism in every continent of the world. Subscribe and travel along with us. Right now, we are in Asia.
We are in Cambodia. There is no naturism here that I know of, but Cambodia has been on our bucket list for a while. And today we're going to take you immediately to one of the highlights of this country. We could have rented a bicycle or a motorbike for today, but we figured since money goes so far here, why not rent a friend? This is our new friend, John, right?
Yeah, John, hello.
And the cool thing is, he comes with a ride.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
From a distance, I feel as if I'm one of those luxury travelers on the Maldives or so. But if you look more closely, I look more like a scruffy backpacker in Cambodia. Or maybe as a naturist vlogger who didn't bother to bring so many clothes. The thing is, we are going to Ankor Wat, which is one of the most famous religious heritage sites in the world. But the place has a dress code. You have to cover your shoulders and your knees. And my only comfortable long pants just broke this morning. And it happens to be right at my knee, so I hope that they will let me in. Cambodia may be a very cheap country, but the cost to get into Ankor Wat was quite extraordinary.
$37.
$37 a person, but they did give us personalized entry tickets.
This is probably my best photo ever.
If I had known that they were gonna take our picture, I would have put on some makeup or so.
Yeah, you would.
This is Ankor Wat.
Yeah.
So you look around and finish, and then come back. I will wait you over there, just over there, straight there.
Yeah.
I wait you there, and then we go to the next one.
All right. We've been immediately dropped off at Ankor Wat, the most famous temple of the complex. I had kind of expected that we would build it up by first going to other temples and then Ankor Wat as the final thing, like save the best for last, but no, and I guess that John knows best.
We have to trust John. John is John.
Our guy, he's our guy.
He's our guy.
He's our best friend for today. It seems like they're still building Ankor Wat. Okay, that was a really bad joke.
Guys.
Thank you, thank you.
Massive Hindu temple in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Ankor Wat.
I know. Thank you very much. Seems like there are more people who want to be our friend for today, but we have no vacancies anymore. We already have John. These are just the outer walls and it already looks really impressive. And it looks totally different than the temples we saw in Thailand, which should not be such a surprise because this was the Khmer Empire, whereas in Thailand was the Siam Empire. It's pretty impressive how well these inscriptions have been maintained. I don't know much about Ankor Wat temple, but the Khmer Empire fell apart somewhere in the 15th century. So Probably they restored this, but it's because with all the weather and stuff, it's like can't be that these look so well after all these centuries.
It's almost not possible that they didn't restore it, because if you look at this, I don't think that these were restored, and they look not that beautiful as the other one.
Apparently shorts would have been fine too. But this place has a dress code, so I think out of respect it's okay to wear long pants, even if there's a hole in it. We keep going from one door through another, but I think that now we are in the actual temple. This huge wall inscription is just all depictions of war, and that shouldn't come as a surprise, because now we just say Southeast Asia in one breath. But in the past these were all very big empires, like Siam, like the Khmer over here, like the Burmese.
Isn't it interesting that we have to wear all these long clothes and cover up everything, and then you see this topless, beautiful women? Interesting.
Maybe nudity was only allowed for the gods, or maybe they tried to encourage body freedom and it just didn't work out like that.
I am a god.
A goddess.
Oh yes, even better. And I am a promoter of body positivity and everything, so I should go topless.
The inscriptions over here depict the military parade, and it's long. It's all the way to the end of this hallway. It's about 100 meters, a little bit less than 100 meters. And it's interesting that most of the inscriptions are either gods, but the large majority has all to do with army or with war. It was built in a very violent period. Of course, back in those days, maybe much more than now, armies and war were the perfect depiction of power. And the Khmer Empire was a very powerful empire. And it's not just war between people that's being shown, it's also war between the gods. So it's really a culture of war. I think we reached the center of Ankor Wat. These are the famous towers that you see in all the pictures and that you can even see from the street. And it's really hard to show you the size of this place in pictures because it's a lot with hallways and small rooms, but this place is enormous. That's the downside of being professionals. Everybody wants to use our services.
All right, let's go up. And I read online that before COVID, this row would take you hours and hours before you could go up. So we are lucky.
This is probably the reason why women are not allowed to wear skirts. These are not even the towers yet, this is just the upper level of the temple, but the view from here is spectacular. We've tried to paint a bit of a picture of what Ankor Wat looks like, but it's impossible to capture its grandeur and the millions of details. You really have to come here to believe all of this. This is the kind of place about which you complain that you have to pay $37, but once you get here, you realize that it's priceless. This place is it's priceless. And this is just one of the temples of the whole complex. Ankor Wat is the most famous one, but there are many more. We've taken the small tour. There's a small tour and a big tour. We're doing the small tour, and I think we're gonna visit 3 more temples. Now let's see if we can find our friend back.
Hi!
It's a good thing that he found us because we couldn't even remember the color of our tuk-tuk.
It looks like these guys on this side are all pretty happy-ish, and on the other side, they're not that pretty happy-ish.
Everybody only talks about Ankor Wat, so I kind of imagined that would be the most impressive temple. But this is a temple of Bayon. It's about 100 years younger than Ankor Wat, but it's beautiful.
For me, me, it has a real Indiana Jones vibe. I feel that Harrison Ford is close by and he's gonna sneak up on us just like any minute now. Don't you feel it?
Or Lara Croft.
Ooh.
It could also be Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Fingers crossed that it's Lara Croft who sneaks up on us. On days like this, I'm really looking forward to the uprise of virtual reality. I mean, they should never restore this place to the original because the ruins are interesting and cool, but it would be nice to have a virtual feel of what this really looked like back in the day, back in the 12th or 13th century. Our friend John told us that they only started excavating this temple 20 years ago. That's not a long time ago. This means that when our parents were our age, if they had come to Cambodia, there would be not much here. Most of it would still be undiscovered. This temple is a total labyrinth. When you look at the map before, you have kind of an idea of which direction you want to go, but once you're in here, you're just walking around and I have no idea where we entered.
That point had to come 1 minute or another, but Nick and I just lost each other. There you are. I lost you.
Do you hear this? That's Psychates. It's a vlogger's nightmare. You can hardly still call this a temple. This place is absolutely huge. I will show you on the map. If you look over here, this is Ankor Wat. And this big one here, north of Ankor Wat, is the Bayan temple. And that is where we are now.
Temples.
And there's more.
Yay.
It's cool that they made these wooden stairs so you can actually climb the temple. Because, let's be honest, people are gonna try to climb it anyway. So it's better to allow them and make special stairs instead of that they ruin the old existing stairs. And you get really good views from here. You really have to keep your eyes open when you're walking around here because there are so many details that you might miss. And sometimes the details are really huge. For example, over here there is a sleeping Buddha if you look carefully. You got to imagine what it must have been like to discover this place. I think they already found Ankor Wat. And then somebody just started looking around in the jungle to see if there was something else. And they find this, like a whole complex of temples that's maybe 5 times bigger than Ankor Wat. Must have been amazing. Meanwhile, we got to our last temple for today. I thought there was going to be 4 in this tour, but our friend John apparently decided otherwise. Maybe we spent too much time in the last 2 temples. And we're not going to complain because although I find this very interesting, it's still, my knowledge is so basic that it can only keep me busy for a certain time. What mostly draws me to places like this is that they are so impressive, and from that point of view all the temples here can easily stand on the same line as the Sagrada Familia or even Machu Picchu.
I really like this one because they haven't restored everything yet, so it's still kind of a mess, and also nature has really taken over here. It's beautiful.
John called this temple the Tomb Raider temple, and probably it's because they filmed some scenes here, or maybe it just looks a lot like Tomb Raider. But in any case, if there's one chance to see Lara Croft, it's probably gonna be here. think this is the smallest of the 3 temples, but it's definitely a very impressive one. Because you get a kind of a glimpse of what it looks like when nature still covers the ruins. Before everybody starts taking away nature, basically. This is us, but we're missing our friend.
There he is. Hi.
We're having a nap. Thank you. Bye-bye. John charges $18 for being our friend for the day, which I think is a decent amount,
Yes.
especially because we're not always the best company. Meanwhile, I also managed to get a second hole in my pants, so I guess tomorrow we will have to go shopping. But luckily, we are in one of the cheapest countries in the world. Yesterday we had a look at how royals spent their time back in times of the Khmer Empire, apparently mostly by building temples. And today we are going to see how much of a royal status we can get with our budget in Cambodia. If the price of our hotel room is any indication, then I think that we can have a pretty comfortable life here. We are in Siem Reap, by the way. It's the city closest to Ankor Wat. And you're going to discover Cambodia together with us because it's also the first time that we come here. Of course, we've been in the city for a couple of days, so we've already seen a little bit and we know where we're taking you. But let's start with getting ourselves some cash.
So how much can we spend?
A lot. About $1 million.
Oh yeah.
That was not a joke. I actually just got 1 million out of the ATM. But of course that is in Cambodian riel, which are about 4,000 to the dollar. So it's more or less $200. In fact, Cambodia has a dual currency. Later you'll see that most of the prices are in dollars, and dollars are perfectly accepted everywhere, at least here in Siem Reap. But since we are in Cambodia, I think it's more fun to pay in Cambodian reals. Now let's try to spend some money. I got the impression it's mostly a tourist market, but they do have a lot of clothes, so maybe I can find pants here. I just wonder if it will be easy to find my size, because my legs are significantly longer than the average Cambodian leg. This one? Long.
This is gonna be like a striptease movie. Don't you think it's too big? Yeah?
That went quickly. The original price was $8, but I got it down to $7. We have been told that we have to negotiate on the markets in Cambodia, but because the prices are already so low, like I don't always feel good negotiating it even more down than it already is. These people need to eat too, and I think that $7 is a reasonable price. Do we need something else?
I think you need to buy one of these.
The elephant.
It fits your new pants. What do you think?
It's more Thailand. We are really not the best customers for local markets. Even when it's really cheap, we still don't buy anything because it's all measured in space and weight, and everything we buy we have to carry along around the world. So we are being careful with buying new stuff.
And also when we buy something, something else has to go. So, and yeah.
You like our stuff?
Yes, I like our stuff.
And this concludes our shopping adventure for this afternoon.
It took us the whole 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, we got what I needed.
Yes, that's true.
And as you could see earlier in this video, I really needed new pants. And we spent the full $7.
And they look good on you.
All in all, Siem Reap is really a cozy city. It's not a big city, but it used to be. Back in times of the Khmer Empire, the city was called Ankor and it was the capital of the whole empire. But after the empire fell, the city kind of disappeared. And there hasn't been anything here for centuries until only a couple of decades ago. when it was rebuilt, mostly because of Ankor Wat, because they found Ankor Wat, and it was rebuilt as a tourist city. And you can see this, it's kind of touristy, but it has a certain beauty. These small streets kind of remind me of the south of Europe. This could be Greece or maybe southern Italy. You see? Italy. Thank you. One freshly made mango shake, $1.
Is it good?
Surprisingly good.
Let me try. Yeah, not bad. You can't have it back.
What's next on our list? Feed fish?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because, I don't know. First of all, I have a thing with feet. I don't like them. I don't like the word. Just talking about it is bleh. And the idea of fish eating this? No, 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 no.
How about the real massage?
That sounds like a really, really good idea. We went cheap. We paid $6 for 1 hour full body massage, and you have different places here, and it's hard to choose because so many different places, so many different prices. In our hotel, for example, it's $12. Anyway, it was not the best massage I ever had, but I feel okay, I feel loose, I feel relaxed, and I'm up for a drink.
It's not really hard to find a drink here. There are plenty of bars, but there's one specific area called Pub Street. This street is the main tourist area of Siem Reap. It's full of bars. Now it's still a little bit quiet, but in the evening they close down this street and the surrounding streets, and then it gets really busy. But let's find a drink.
Okay, this is my first cocktail, alcoholic cocktail, from over a month. I order a classic margarita, and it comes in a really nice glass, which I appreciate a lot. Cheers!
There are also a lot of restaurants around here. I've seen several different ones. I've seen Chinese, that's quite logical. I've seen Italian, I've seen Greek, there's burger places. But tonight we're gonna take you to a special place.
The girl just gave me her phone with the menu on it, but the menu is only pictures because the actual menu is only in Cambodian language. So we just have to pick our food according to the pictures.
This may not look like the kind of place where royals would go, but we've been here yesterday. This is one of the best seafood restaurants I've ever been to. Yesterday I had something so delicious, I'm just gonna order it again. It's squid with sauce and rice. Quite basic, but it's super good. But because we are acting like royals today, we are going to order oysters too. And I'm not really sure if it's a good idea because tomorrow we have to sit between 6 and 9 hours on a boat.
We're gonna do it anyway. You.
Let's go try the first oyster.
Here we go. Subtitle: speechless.
It's a pity that we specifically asked for first the oysters and then the rest of the food, but maybe they didn't understand.
You have two.
There's 2 oysters in one.
Oh.
Jackpot.
How are you gonna eat that?
One at a time. Should film this.
Very sexy.
So let's summarize. Today we had a $7 pants.
Check.
We had a $1 juice.
Check.
We had two $6 massages.
Check.
We had two $2.50 cocktails.
Check.
And then another $2.50 cocktails.
Check.
And we had this food, which is about $10 in total.
Check.
I'm not sure what the total is, but you will see this somewhere appearing in this video. But that's not really important, because I'm pretty sure that the question you're all wondering now is, will we survive on a boat after we've eaten oysters in a street food shop?
There's only one way to find out.
That's something for our next video. If our next video is called Nick and Lynn's
Didn't
shit
survive.
under the whole boat, you know what happened.
So
But-
if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to our channel, put on your notifications, and if you like this video, please give us a big fat thumbs up. I will just see you on our next video.
Bye bye.